On a youth group camping trip, Samwise Gamgee tells the kids the story of the prophet Hosea. Is it worth watching? Find out when I look at Amazing Love on this week's Indy Christian Review. The movies of Rich and Dave Christiano kind of hold a special place in my heart. Rich's movie Time Changer was one of the first Christian movies I'd ever seen, and was a major part of my journey of wanting to become a filmmaker myself. It's probably not much of a stretch to say that the Christiano Brothers are like the fathers of the modern indie Christian film movement. So needless to say, whenever they release a new movie, I'm going to pay attention. Even if it takes me a while to get around to watching it. Amazing Love came out in 2012. The movie is centered around a church youth group going on a camping trip. A last-minute addition to the group is a girl named Ashley, who's going through a rough family situation at home and really doesn't want to be there. Unfortunately, the only other girl on the trip, Carrie, really doesn't like Ashley. At all.
We're not even there yet, and she's already doing her nails.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, just look at her just braving over there like she owns the place. What a snob. The other campers include the aptly named Game Boy, whose name is totally not a copyright infringement, Cooper, who needs simple words defined for him, and Steve. The token perfect youth group kid. How do we know he's perfect?
For all have sinned and have come short of the glory of God. Romans 3:23.
Leading the kids is youth pastor Stuart, played by Sean Astin, and his wife Beth, played by Fireproof's Erin Bethea. It's not long before personalities clash and tempers flare, and it's up to Stuart and Beth to defuse the situation.
Ashley just needs a huge dose of unconditional love.
Part of a child. Unconditional love.
And so this gives Stuart the idea to tell the kids the story of the prophet Hosea and his adulterous harlot wife Gomer.
You know, for kids.
Actually, in all seriousness, they do handle that aspect very tastefully. I mean, as long as you know what the word harlot means, you can get the gist of what's going on without them showing anything. As big of a rule as show don't tell is, imply don't show can be even more powerful. Now, overall, Amazing Love is a decent movie, but it does have a lot of flaws. The pacing is pretty slow, and most of the camping scenes felt like padding. More padding than they had to sleep on. The dialogue is pretty stiff and detracted from the performances of otherwise talented actors. Most of the youth group kids just were sort of there, and a lot of the humor really falls flat. I mean, there's lines like this.
Come on, Stuart, the Old Testament?
Yeah, this is the now, not the then.
Yo, dog, that's like totally how modern teenagers talk these days, right? Word. Also, Hosea's scenes are very repetitive. He gives a prophecy, his friend tells him that people aren't listening, he insists that judgment is coming, and then stuff happens with Gomer.
Over and over.
But it's not all bad. The cinematography by Phil Hearn is gorgeous as always, and if we grade on a curve, the acting overall wasn't that bad. I mean, when the writing was good, the acting was good, but when the dialogue was bad, the acting suffers. Hosea's relationship with Gomer really does make for a compelling story, especially when you tie it together with God's relationship with Israel. And while I like that Hosea's story is framed within the context of the modern scenes, it's the modern stuff that really is the weakest link in the film. So while I overall enjoy the Christiano's movies and respect them as filmmakers, this is probably one of their weaker films. I do think there's enough good you can take out of it though to make this worth watching. So if I were to rate this movie, I'd put the acting at a 3, but mostly because the actors weren't given very good lines to work with. Which is why the writing is also a 3. Production values, I'll give a 4. It overall looks nice, but you can tell they were limited by budget. Overall, I would rate Amazing Love 3 out of 5. So, question for you. Which of the Christiano's movies is your favorite? If you're watching this anywhere besides IndyChristianReview.com, head over there and leave a comment and let me know what you think. And while you're there, a few years ago I actually did a whole month of reviews of the Christiano's movies, so be sure to check those out too. Also, don't forget to subscribe and consider becoming a patron on Patreon at patreon.com/storyteller. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you, and may God bless independent Christian films.